Unsigned with Matt Wherry.
Unsigned with Matt Wherry.
Do we want that water bottle there?
Well, it's
mates.
It's a bit grotty, right? It's a bit of a grotty bottle now because I've had it quite a long time. But it is Mates, which is that mental health group I'm part of.
Yeah.
So it is. I do want it. I am going to put it there.
Yeah.
But I need a new bottle. So there's a hint, Dave. I need a new bottle. But anyway. Hi everyone, welcome to the Unsigned podcast. As you can see, I'm riding slightly solo, but Manish is back.
Wait, that's me.
Yeah. So how are you? You feeling all right now?
Yeah, I'm good. I just had COVID.
Yeah, the C word.
Yeah, we don't like that.
No, we don't like that. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. It's great to have you back. We had Ian, my dad, stepping in, so thank you very much for doing that. Although that was a couple of weeks ago now, because we ended up having, because I was on holiday last week, we recorded 2 podcasts in one day, which, yeah, it was good. It was It was a bit challenging from a logistical perspective, but it was good to have... It was good to have it was good health, good wealth, and we had Heidi as well. So
sweet.
It was good. Episodes have been well received. So thank you everyone who is watching those on YouTube, listening on Spotify and Acast and all of those good places. But go and give us a subscribe on YouTube because that does mean a lot and it does help the podcast out massively. So that was a couple of weeks ago. Then I had my holiday, which was very nice.
Tell us about that. How was the holiday?
Tell us about the holiday. It was all right. It was good. We went away. So it was me, the wife and 2 kids, went to Portugal. And yeah, it was all good. Although, I don't know if it's just the way in which I am, but like something simple, right, that annoyed me when I was away, right? So when you're getting into a lift, right, what do?
Press the button.
Well, if there's people in the lift, yeah. So usually you wait for people to get out first, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there were people, and they were from all countries. It wasn't it's not pointing at a particular country or anything like that, but there were certain people that were in the hotel with us who were just getting in before the kids could get out, and I'm like, well, one of them was like an old lady, and I sort of thought like it's not even a generational thing, do you know what I mean? I was like, what are you doing? Like, let the kids get out. So that wore on me a bit. But other than that, it was all right. One day, I was standing in the lift on my own. I went upstairs to go and get something because the kids were down by the pool with Charlotte. And I was going up, and I was just, as you do, you get into a lift and you like sort of face the doors, don't you, when you're standing in the lift, if that makes sense? Yeah. I had a couple come in, and they stood looking at me. And then the door shut behind them, and then they stood looking at me. Because like, what are you doing? But,
are they okay? Oh my days.
They were all right, but I had like a t-shirt on, which is something like it's got like the globe on it or the world on it, and it's like make the world a happier place or something like that. It's a bit corny, but I like the t-shirt, right? So I'm wearing this t-shirt, and this guy turns around to me and he goes, "Gesundheit," and I went, "Gesundheit." And he went, "Oh, are you English?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm English." He went, "Oh, that means like happy earth or something in German." And I went, "Oh, okay, cool, all right." So that's the reason why they were facing me, but a bit odd.
I see.
It was a bit odd.
Bit weird.
But no, we had a nice time. Kids loved it. We were by a pool, and the kids were in and out of that all day. And we went down to the beach one day, but it was too hot. But I was melting.
Yeah.
But no, it was nice. We had a nice time. And then we got home. What day is it today? Tuesday. We got home Sunday. And we were at the airport, and we were basically ready to check in and that. And then we had a notification from the airline saying that 70 people had to be bumped off the flight.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what the fuck? And I was there with obviously Charlotte and the kids. And we were like, what's going on? They go, they've sent a smaller plane. I was like, and then Charlotte was like, but everyone's had to pre-book their tickets. Yeah. It was with an airline, you have to pre-book your seats and that. And they were like, oh yeah, no, we haven't got enough seats on the plane. It had to be reduced. And I was like trying to figure out what the hell was going on or whatever. They even gave us all a letter and said like it's been reduced, smaller plane, blah 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 blah. Anyway, 3 hours like the plane's delayed as well, right? So it's just a whole thing on the way home. And we're waiting for the plane. We have to wait for a little while. I think we have to wait like 3 hour delay or whatever. And eventually get on the plane. And they're like, and it looked like the normal plane, like 220 seater. And we walk on, and they're like, we're doing things a little bit differently today. So although you've got allocated seats, we're not using the middle 12 rows. So if you could just sit either before or after that. And we were like, right,
Seems
okay.
a bit sketch.
Proper sketchy. And so anyway, so I'm not the best flyer anyway. Not the best passenger on a plane. So anyway, so we get on the plane, and obviously I'm with the kids, so I'm trying to be like dad, and trying to be, strong or whatever. And then we sit down. The air stewardess sits us where we need to sit. And then another one comes on, goes, oh no, you can't sit there, you need to move back. Everyone in these 4 rows also needs to move back. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, long story short, they move us, we sit down, and they go, just so you're all aware, one of the emergency doors in the middle of the plane isn't working. Therefore, that's why people have had to move, and you can't sit in the middle. If you want to move during the flight, that's absolutely fine. But for takeoff and landing, you need to make sure you're not sitting in those middle 12, 14 rows or whatever. And I was like, first of all, that's a bit terrifying. And secondly, if they'd just been honest with everyone to begin with and say, oh, by the way, there's no, you can't sit in the middle. We've got to bump 70 people off the flight because there's a problem with the door. I'm pretty sure 70 people have gone, I won't get on. Because, do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, definitely.
So anyway, it was a bit of a palaver, but we ended up getting home safe and all that. But it was just, not what we needed on a Sunday night. And then with the kids getting up early for school and me for work. And,
that's mental.
And all that. But no, but taken away from that, it was a lovely holiday. We had a lovely time. First time we'd done all inclusive, which for the first 2 days you think's amazing because you think just eat all the food and have all the drink.
Yeah, the food, yeah.
But I swear to you, by the end of the week, I swear they literally go, yeah, we'll have some of that, right, just throw that in, right, send that out to them, they won't know what it is. It's literally some of the food come out, and I said to Charlotte, what is this? And she was like, don't know. And I was like, right, okay, so you just have to go with it. I've said before on this that I probably eat 90% veggie stuff, right? I don't necessarily put a label on it or anything, but I don't eat a lot of meat. But if you were vegetarian or vegan on the holiday we just went on, good luck.
That's mad.
It's just there was no option. There was a couple of options on a couple of nights, but it was I don't know, rice and vegetables or whatever. It just weren't.
Oh, that's mad.
It just weren't, one of those things. Well, I wouldn't necessarily do all inclusive again. It was good for the kids because it was just chips and pasta and whatever. But no, I'm painting it like it was a terrible holiday. It wasn't. We had a lovely time. The kids enjoyed it. In and out the pool. Went to a splash park. Not a splash park. What do they call them?
Water park.
Yeah, water park with massive slides.
Oh, sick! Yeah,
that was really cool. And we also went on a boat to go and see these caves. I think they're called the Bengali caves. I think they were called. Went and saw them. We were supposed to hopefully see some dolphins, but we didn't. But it was cool. It was a nice experience and all that. But yeah, by the time Sunday rolled round, I was ready to get home. But that's 8 minutes of me talking about my holiday.
We're doing good for time.
Yeah, no, it's cool. But anyway, right, getting into the actual podcast. So what was supposed to happen today is Mr. Rob Jackson was going to be here, but he had some travel issues. So unfortunately, he won't be here today. He will hopefully be back next week. So he will be here with the next set of guests. We've got Under One Sun on later on in the second and third section. Now, these guys I've known for a little while. I've seen them live a few times as well, and they actually performed as the headliners at my Southend gig on the 19th of May.
Oh, okay.
So they are someone I know reasonably well, and it's I'm looking forward to getting them in the studio. And they've got a couple of they've got a festival that they're doing this coming weekend as well, which if you're watching this on Patreon will be, I think it's on the Saturday, so it'll be tomorrow. But if you're watching this publicly, get on Patreon and you would have known about it. But that's in Southend, but they'll talk more about that a bit later on. Essentially, if you're an unsigned band or artist and you want to get music on Unsigned with Matt Wherry, which is me, that one was for Lizzie, on the Sunday shows, it goes out on Isn't on Radio, as you can see here. It also goes out on Radio Extra, Radio Chelmsford, and a couple of other stations here and there as well. And they go out usually at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night. But they go across all stations, and if you're an unsigned band or artist and you want to get your music on the radio, go to our website, unsignedmusic.uk, and you could submit your music on there, and after a review, it could go on the radio as early as next Sunday. We've had loads of tracks over the past. Well, when I was away, we had, at the moment, I think we've got roughly around 300 tracks to choose from.
Oh man.
That we've had over the course of Unsigned over the last sort of 20 odd weeks or whatever. And but when I was away, I swear we had like 40 tracks drop, like through the letterbox, so to speak. And so to get through them all while I was away wasn't possible. So I'm going through a lot of them now, and sort of building the next sort of couple of weeks worth of shows. So yeah, if you're uploading music, thank you very much. I am getting round to it, but it's there was such an influx. I don't know. It's funny how it goes sometimes. You'll get some weeks where you'll get, you know, a track a day or 2 tracks a day or whatever. And then, when I was away, we had 30 or 40 tracks just come through. And it's just like, you don't know what takes sometimes. Do you know what I mean? It's really odd.
Definitely.
Don't quite understand how it all works. But thank you for everyone who is uploading music. It's really great to have such momentum as we do. And as I sort of alluded to last week on the podcast and the week before, we have got some news coming. But at this stage, I can't announce anything. So if you want to be in the know, go to our Patreon, sign up to that. £1 a month. There's still places available on there for that. Otherwise, you can sign up for different tiers. It gives you different benefits and different exclusive content and all that sort of good stuff, which is also coming very, very soon. We had mentioned a little bit earlier in regards to Under One Sun doing our Southend gig. All of those, the gig that we done at Southend and the gig we done at Chelmsford were both filmed, and all of the audio from that night were recorded as well. And all of those tracks that were performed on that night have now been mixed.
Ooh.
So we will be releasing, after the bands and I have had a conversation about what we're going to do with them, we will be releasing those tracks on Patreon. But what we're also going to do is going to have like the live night, all the tracks mixed, so they're all all shiny. But then we're going to literally have like the Chelmsford gig and the Southend gig on Patreon, so people can go back and listen to the entire gig in one go.
Yeah.
So that'll be quite cool because, I'm looking forward to getting that all put together. And also, Percy Productions are currently editing our Chelmsford gig from a video perspective.
Ooh.
Because we've done a behind the scenes film of the whole night, and then each band had like a music video sort of shoot on the night as well. So they're all going to be coming to Patreon very, very soon as well. We will have like some of those videos as part of the socials will probably go up on Instagram and TikTok and whatnot, but the main videos, the main exclusive content will all be going on Patreon. So go and sign up to that. £1 a month if you're lucky. Still get some of those available at the moment. And then there's other tiers and benefits that are coming up. So that's the Patreon stuff. Obviously, go and give us a follow on Instagram, unsignedmusic.uk. We're on Twitter and Facebook and TikTok as well. But also the people that are uploading music to us, thank you very much. I'm really like I said a minute ago, getting all of the tracks that are coming through is fantastic. I think over the past sort of, how long have we been doing this? This is the 6th week of the podcast. And it's really interesting to have a look back over the episodes and see how they've sort of grown.
Yeah.
And there's some episodes that are for some reason taking more than others and all that. And I think over time, when we get more guests in and all that, there'll be obviously a bit more momentum behind it as well. But the response has been pretty good to that.
Definitely.
And I think that the response has been really good for guests as well over the next... We've actually got June... Well, how long we've got left of June? Got a couple of weeks left of June, haven't we? We've now got June booked up, July booked up.
Ooh.
We've also got August penciled on a couple of guests as well.
Oh, wow.
So if you're an artist or a band and you want to come into our podcast studios here at Islington Radio, then drop us a DM on Instagram or send us an email at hello@unsignedmusic.uk, because we film this on a Tuesday night. And we usually start with the artists at around 8 o'clock. So if you want to be involved with it, obviously you're watching a podcast now, so you probably know the format generally. Me and my co-host will have half hour or so. We'll chat, go through things that have happened over the past couple of weeks. And then we'll have the guests in for 2 sections, half hour-ish, and we'll run through a few bits and bobs, a bit of the history of the band in the first section, and then in the third section we do their dream gig. So if you want to be a part of it, get involved, because we're filling up, and Tuesday nights is when we film. in Archway, Islington Radio. And if you guys want to get involved, let us know, because at the moment I think we could quite easily fill up August and September like that.
Yeah.
Which is exciting, but it's I think the artists are getting involved with it quite a lot.
Definitely.
So it's interesting. And we're also, me and Manisha were discussing off pod, we were discussing about the hopefully more opportunities coming in regards to getting some live sessions and stuff recorded at some point as well. So there's opportunities developing all the time here at Unsigned. Not only have we obviously got the podcast that you guys are obviously watching or listening to, we're not forgetting you audio listeners, but also we've got the radio show, which is like our bread and butter. And then live events we've done a couple of, and I've had a few people actually ask me if we're doing any more, which we will be. We will be doing more live events at some point, but we're trying to concentrate at the moment on this because it takes a lot of work to put this together. Also, the radio show is, like I say, is our bread and butter. Every week that goes out. But we're also planning something quite big at the moment as well. So that's taken the priority. So once everything's sort of up and running and we've got a few more members of the team in and around Unsigned as well, then yes, we will be looking to get more live events running. But at this moment in time, it isn't the priority. So, but don't fret. Like I say, exclusive content's coming soon. You'll be able to see what we're all about, what our events were like. And hopefully we'll get some. I'd like to say we might get one or two more in before the end of the year. But at the same time, need to see how. One thing at a time, Manish.
Yeah. Let's take our time. Baby step.
Baby. You say baby steps, but we've gone fucking all guns blazing everywhere else, haven't we?
Yeah.
Everything else has been a little bit gung-ho. But, I'm excited about it. I'm still excited about it. I think that from a radio show perspective, I think I'm on the 24th week. I think on the podcast perspective, this is the sixth episode, and we had the preview show as well, so 7-ish. So it's all, we've done quite a lot in a short space of time, really. And I'm really thankful for all the guests that we've had on the podcast as well, and everyone who's getting involved with the upcoming news that I can't know. I'm teasing you, and I don't mean to. I'm really sorry. So we are going to have Under One Sun joining us very shortly. So what we will do, we'll wrap up this section. Thank you very much for guiding me through. It's probably not the right way of saying it, isn't it? But supporting me whilst we've been running solo. It's a little bit tricky when you're doing it solo, so I apologise if it's been a bit of a flop in this first section. But you know what? It is what it is. Sometimes life takes over, and sometimes, it is what it is. So what we'll do, we'll wrap up this section. Remember, if you want to submit your music, go to our website, unsignedmusic.uk. Go and follow us on Instagram. Go and subscribe on YouTube. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it really helps the podcast out. We're building subscribers slowly. There's more viewers than subscribers, obviously. And I don't know what it then takes for people to go, I'm going to subscribe to this. I don't know if it's like sporadic viewing of, I like Downtown City Gardens, so I'm going to watch them.
Yeah.
But I don't know who the others are. How other people might be unfamiliar.
I think subscribers will increase because you just said you've got June and July and almost August booked out. So that's constant content. That's what YouTube likes. Yeah. So it's going to attract subscribers. Yeah, I hope so. It's like you say, it's just baby steps, isn't it? Just building it slowly, because obviously we've only just started really doing this, and we're getting some great guests on, and we're getting other people that are really interested in getting involved as well. But yeah, it's just, if you are listening to this or watching this, subscribe for us. It does really help us out. And we look forward to many more episodes. I think it's been consistency's key, isn't it? Definitely. I think consistency's key. That's why I wanted to record 2 episodes the other week, because I knew I was going to miss a week. Yeah. so that's like on every how to YouTube video, number 1 is consistency. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. We're being consistent. We're flying by the seat of our pants today, as you may have realised, but we're being consistent. So we're going to wrap this section up, and we will be back with Under One Sun in section 2.
Unsigned with Matt Wherry. Unsigned with Matt Wherry.
Hi guys, welcome to the Unsigned podcast. One of our partners is Mates, which is mental health awareness through educational speaking. I'm lucky enough to be an ambassador for Mates. If you want to go to their website, if you want any support or any information about what they do, it's weareyourmates.com. They're a peer-to-peer support group, and they're based in Chelmsford in Essex. They do walks and talks, but they've got a Facebook group as well. So that is a shout out for Mates. Weareyourmates.com for more information.
Unsigned with Matt Wherry. Unsigned with Matt Wherry.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Unsigned podcast. I am joined by Sam and Charlie from Under One Sun.
Hello.
Hey.
And you can't hear it, but it's playing. How are we doing?
Good, mate.
Yeah? All good. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. It was we were talking just before we came in about our Southend gig, which wasn't actually the first time I met you guys, was it?
No, but it was in Southend at the Chinnery show.
It was.
Yeah.
And you guys were supporting San Quentin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Admissions were there as well.
Yeah.
Which we would have had Rob here, but he had some travel issues. Not holding it against you, Rob. But yeah, they were there as well. So that was the first time that I met you guys was at that gig, which was quite a while ago now.
During the storm as well.
Yeah, it was.
Storm,
Yeah,
Ernest,
Brenda, something like that. So yeah, no, that was a little while ago. It was good though, wasn't it? That event.
Yeah, good show. Yeah, really good. I think for us to play a sold out event was pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, for I think it was like our 6th or 7th show.
Yeah, you guys have been doing a load this year.
Yeah, we were talking earlier on the way here, so we started off again sort of November 2021, sort of after COVID, and then from that it's just been consistent. So I think we're on gig number 11 or 12 now. So
something like that, yeah.
I think like one a month.
I remember you say it's more than one a month, isn't it? Because like November to now, it's like 2 a month. But you literally done, because we were obviously, we had our Southend gig on the 19th of May, which you guys headlined with support from Good Health, Good Wealth and AB Violet.
Yep.
And that was on the Thursday night, and then I text you the following day, and then you got pulled in for another gig in Chelmsford the following day, didn't you?
Yeah. So that was at Hotbox in Chelmsford. And Standing Like Statues, who are quite a big touring band from Cambridge, dropped us a message at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, all right, screenshot to the boys, what are we gonna do? And I think we was all a bit sort of worse for wear, but we were like, we'll go for it.
Yeah,
I think you've got a really good night as well, wasn't it?
It was good.
We want to go back there again, even just to go drink.
Do you know what? I haven't actually been there yet. I actually had. I'm just going to move your mic just there.
Yep.
I haven't been there yet. I've spoken to them a couple of. I've actually interviewed them on the radio a couple of times.
Okay.
Denham from Hotbox.
Okay.
And I've spoken to John a couple of times as well. And I've always wanted to do an event there. I think that was going to be potentially my first choice of venues in Chelmsford when I've run gigs for Unsigned.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite work out. But yeah, I've never actually been there. I was going there. I think there was a night there where Katie the Kings from Chelmsford was going to be playing there. I was going to go to that. Yeah. But originally it was booked, and then it got rescheduled due to COVID and everything else. And then it got rescheduled for the night after my Chelmsford gig at A Canteen. So I was like, I can't go out. I'm not going out 2 nights in a row for that.
I think even with that, it's quite a big waiting list. So that's why I think I've been on it. You guys I want this venue. Yeah. And that was the opportunity. We're taking it.
As a venue, it's super cool. And it's like it's under a bridge.
It's in the viaducts under the railway station, isn't it?
It's just a tube, essentially. But it's really cool, and the bar's awesome, and they have shot roulette there. Are you aware of this?
No, tell me about what is shot roulette.
So you pay your money.
Yeah.
And basically there's a little screen on one of the pillars.
Yeah.
They press it, and whatever number you get is linked to a bottle of something.
Oh wow.
So
around the room,
So it could be anything, but it could be like an 800 bottle of whatever.
Right.
And this guy's got a ladder positioned.
Yeah, he just goes and gets it for you. But you get what you're given, but you can get some good stuff.
Oh, really? What did you win or lose on the roulette?
We all won, but
I think we did all right.
Way, yeah, I think
whiskey or something like that, or spice rum and things like that.
I think in my old age, shots are just not my bag anymore. I was saying in the first section, I was in Portugal last week with the wife and kids, and sometimes you go out for dinner and then they bring you up is it an aperitif? Is that the right term? They bring you basically a shot after your dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And they bought us limoncello. And my missus, right, she's not a big drinker, but she was just like, well, straight back. And I was like, oh. I'd rather have a pint, I think, these days. I don't think I could do shots anymore.
They have good pints too.
Yeah. Good pints too.
I think it was Matt, wasn't it? So our drummer's more of the adventurous
Getting us
one
on it,
out of
yeah.
all of us.
Foxy.
Yeah. So, yeah, Matt Fox.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Oh, what's all this?" And we were all like, "Oh."
In his element.
Next thing you know, we're all
And he bought the barman one as
yeah,
well. So
and the
all
barman got a free shot as well. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's good.
He could have come today. We could have taken him to the pub. Bloody hell. Right, so we met at the San Quentin gig at the Chinnery's. That's another good venue as well. It's the first time I've been there.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've been there, yeah. First time I've been there. 21, I'd been to see a band previous to our gig, which we done, which, I really enjoyed. But, someone messaged me earlier and said, "Oh, are you still doing events?" I was like, "I am, but we're just like concentrating on a few other bits at the moment." But
yeah, I think Chinnery's is probably like the legendary venue of Southend. You know, so
yeah.
I think if you're close to the area,
you know the Chinnery's.
You've ticked that off your bucket list. From
what other ones have you done there? Is it the Alex as well? Have you guys done?
Yeah, so again, that's more of a bar, but they've got a cool little upstairs venue.
Right. Okay.
And we was involved in an all-dayer event there.
Yeah.
Which is actually happening again. Sort of middle of October, I think, or the start of October. So, yeah, well, once that's allowed to be announced,
yeah,
stay tuned about that.
Well, you just said it on the podcast. It's going out, mate. But you guys have been really busy with your gigs and stuff. Is it a case that you guys have you turned like stuff down where you're like, oh, we can't do that one as well, or is it a case that at the moment you just want as much experience as possible, so you're just trying to get as many gigs booked?
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
If we're all available, then yes.
Well, it's 5 of you in the band, right? So it's quite a lot of you. Like when you guys are set up at 21, you take up the entire space.
Yeah. I mean, there's 5 of us and there's a lot of gear.
So
but in terms of turning down gigs, it's if one of us are busy. That's kind of the only
excuse,
real thing.
really. Yeah.
Obviously, we're all like full time working as well, so it's hard, but. We can do it. We're there.
Yeah, because you're not based in Southend, are you?
Close enough. I'm more like Thurrock.
Yeah,
so sort of. Yeah.
And the rest of you guys are Southend.
Me and James are sort of Basildon way.
Right.
So we're all around.
You're all around. Yeah, I'm in Wickford, so I'm like, you know what I mean, stone's throw from you. Yeah. But you know, how do you make that all work then? Because obviously you've said with balancing 9 to 5. Well, it's not 9 to 5 for you, is it? It's early doors for you.
For me, yeah, but if anything, that works in my favour. So I've got the whole day to sort of do it. Yeah. So even if I have a late night, I can just get work out of the way and then sleep it off.
Nah, it's all right, isn't it? But how do you work that with? So let's go back to basics. So let's talk about who's in the band. So you've already mentioned Matt, the drummer.
Yep. So we've got the guitarist, which is my brother James.
Yep.
And then we have Jack as well, who's the other guitarist. So
and it's his birthday today.
It is, yes.
Happy birthday, Jack. I'm not stalking him. I saw it on Instagram. Because at first when you texted me earlier, you were like, "Oh yeah, James is working, so I'm going to bring." And I thought you meant Jack at first. I was like, "Oh, should I get him a birthday cake?"
No.
So sorry, Charlie.
It's all right.
But how long so when did you guys get started then? So obviously you've said you've got obviously your brother. You've obviously known him a while. But how the rest of the band meet and how long have you guys been under one son?
So it all started February 2019, to be exact. So I started off. So this is my first band. I was never in sort of live bands before, so I was more of acoustic, stripped back, sort of songwriter, which you can probably grasp from songs like Rewind and things like that. So originally I wrote sort of the main bulk for that. My brother heard it, and he was like, "Come to mine, we're going to turn this into a rock song."
Yeah.
And we did, pretty much just sort of like your old sort of garage band.
Yeah.
And then we were like, this is really good. And then from that, because James works in PMT, sort of involved in music, which is like a big music store. Matt happens to pop in.
Right.
And it's like, I'm really looking for a band at the minute. Like, I'm really bored and that. And he's like, we've just literally started playing with my brother. He popped down. I think we all sort of knew Jack mutually.
Yeah.
And then he jumped on board. And then originally we had James Clark as our bass player.
Right.
So, and then he did our first show of us at Chinnery's.
Oh, okay.
So, literally before lockdown and COVID.
Yeah.
So, he was pretty much in the band, was always involved in the early recordings and demos. And then a bit later on, once he had twins, so he had to family commitments.
Yeah,
and we met Charlie shortly after. So if you want to fill your bit in,
basically, again, it's all relating to PMT really. I used to go in there all the time. And,
so where is PMT? I've
just
heard
off the
about
High
it,
Street in Southend.
Okay.
Down Queen's Road. But yeah, I'd go in there all the time and buy stuff. And James would be like, "Oh, do you want to?" He originally asked me to join, I think, before Clarkie, if I'm not mistaken, and I said no because I was like doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But then once, obviously, Clarkie left, I think he put my name forward again, and then I was like, all right, because it was sold to me as, oh, you do it for 6 months and then James will come back kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, I can do that, whatever. And then here we are, like a year, almost a year to the day later, I think.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's just getting faster and faster. And
it's crazy because we all sort of all mutually knew each other anyway. So like, I remember seeing Jack at like a festival called Village Green.
Yeah.
Which, so yeah, I didn't know him, but I was like, oh yeah, that's Jack. And then I got chatting to Matt like, I don't know, a couple months before I knew who he was. So it was just like, all sort of meant to.
I mean, I've known Jack for years as well. So. Like, I've known him since like college days, really.
Right.
So, like you say, everyone sort of overlapped one way or another, and then it's just all finally.
And I was always
together.
quite eager to start a band, but I never really knew the people. So there's a bit of an age gap between me and my brother. So he was pretty much always in bands and doing his own thing. And eventually I got to the age and sort of the capability to want to do more.
What do you mean the age? So who's older at you two?
Him. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, see,
I won't give away the age, but
mate, I guarantee I'm older than he is. I guarantee it.
Oh, I don't know about that. Confidential.
Is it? He comes, mate. Seriously, watching your brother play, like he can't. I've obviously spoke to him a couple of times, like obviously at the events and stuff like that. He always comes across really sort of reserved, and he gets on stage and fuck me,
lets himself go.
It's like he just comes alive when he's playing.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, some of the photos of him are like, he still the show, doesn't he? Like,
he is amazing. So, like I can't. Not that I'm a critic or a critique, like or even well versed enough to comment on how well anyone necessarily plays, but he sells it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like he is fantastic from obviously from musically, but you can just see how much he loves it.
Yeah, 100%.
So he's always been in bands and stuff, and then you decided when it was time that you would sort of join it.
Pretty much, yeah. So
you're the newbie, aren't you?
Yeah,
like we've all.
So my sort of live experience was only ever at like Peggy Sue's.
Right.
So again, that's like
a little open mic night.
Yeah. So that was my sort of go-to really, and then once I was in this territory, I was like, oh, like, what am I doing? But no, I think I grasped it naturally. And
definitely.
Do you know, with the I've talked about it before, but with the mixes that are being done from the night. So obviously when we talked, it was off pod, wasn't it, when we were talking about it? But essentially when we had our Chelmsford and our Southend gigs, we recorded all of the audio from those nights. And what's going on there? Sorry. We recorded all the audio from those nights from Chelmsford and from Southend. And lucky enough for my dad to be involved, he's a muso as well and always played music and been in bands and everything else. But he's been mixing the tracks for us. And he has said like working on your stuff has been like an eye-opener for him because he's not heard stuff like yours before. Right. So he says like and also there were so many different elements to what you guys were doing as well. Right? Because I texted you a couple of times and I was like, oh, what about this? Have you got any backing tracks anywhere else, or is it just that or whatever? But yeah, because when you think of on that night, we had Abby who had a keyboard and her laptop. Good Health, Good Wealth had the decks, laptop, and then the two lads and the guitar.
Yep.
And then you guys had fucking everything else.
So
many elements to your setup.
Yeah, there's loads. I mean,
there's even some new stuff as well now, like intro music and things like that. So
I think the cool thing with, like, again, this is like the biggest scale band I've ever done, and obviously, you know, you're in a band, you play, but it's cool because we do have the track as well. So it's not like we're relying on the track because obviously there's 5 of us. So you'd hope we could make some noise, but it's like just extra synth or whatever, just little sort
in
of
the background,
but it just adds a
different dimension to it.
Yeah,
and it's a bit funny as well. So when James Clark was in the band, he did the backing on the Off and On song.
Oh really?
So the get up.
Yeah.
So he's still trapped in the band, so
he can never leave.
Like
Hotel California.
So Yeah.
Your brother gives the vocals a go, though, doesn't he?
For him, so.
You heard that here?
Yeah, he does.
He does, yeah.
And we're actually in talk of getting Jack and Charlie to sort of get on the mic as well.
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
That's something that you want to do, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, we were saying on the way up, weren't we? It's like we kind of want to, I think in terms of vocals, rely less on the track. Mm-hmm. So if we could do it, I mean, Jack's done it once or twice live, and it's sort of giving it a bit more
slowly. Yeah.
So I think if we can all do it, it would be good.
Yeah.
Just a bit more energy, you know. Like if you have like 4 of us just belting it, then
no, it's good.
New dynamic, you know.
Yeah. So
it does help. So what bands were you in before then?
So I've done, you know, when I first sort of started doing live stuff, it'd just kind of be I'd fill in for people. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there was a band that were around and their guitarist had left. So they needed someone, because I had like a couple of gigs coming out, so I did it and sort of literally just stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I was in a band for a few years called the Royals. You know, we sort of did the South End scene, if you like.
Yeah.
Then I was like, right, I'm done for a bit now. Took a load of time off. Then lockdown happened, so I took a load more time off. And then after lockdown happened and James said, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of ready to get back into it.
You needed that break.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds so dramatic, but it wasn't. It was just, it's tough doing gigs, and, you know, like when you're filling in for people and you're playing different things all the time, it's quite draining.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not being creative because you like learn this go sort of thing. And same with the Royal stuff. Like we did quite a lot of gigs in a short space of time. Like it was only around a couple of years, but we did quite a bit. So I was just like, I just need a creative break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But now it's like I've had that long, like almost 3 years off, I think it was.
Oh wow.
Like I'm back on it now.
Yeah. So. Well, you certainly are. I mean, the amount of gigs you guys are doing.
And again, like he added his own style to like the songs that already existed. You know, so. Yeah,
you've got that creative space now, so that you can do that. So you're not going there and being almost like a session musician, I guess, where you're going there and playing someone else's track. You're a part of this.
I mean, the majority of the set was already there when I joined, and again, it was kind of when I first started. It was like this will be a temporary thing for a little while. So I was like, I'll just sort of learn it and play it. Yeah, you're
sort of like in and out, wouldn't you? Like
but then obviously I'm still here, so I've added a little bit kind of to it, how I would play it. And then like with the new stuff, it's kind of I've got complete sort of freedom to play as long as it works, obviously.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Just add whatever to it. And it's fun. So I'm not like a main writer or anything, but it's nice just to add
your element
to it. Yeah.
Like we're getting. I think we've got about 3 new songs ready to go now.
Yeah,
wow.
2 or 3. Yeah.
So I think a lot of that's come from the consistent gigging as well.
Yeah.
So even though we love the songs, like I think we are getting bored with some of them, and
you're
like
with the amount of gigs you guys are doing as well.
Trying to bring in some new ones. So with the ones we've done so far, they're brilliant, honestly.
Yeah,
we're really like excited to.
And it's nice as well because obviously you and James have got like demos from whenever.
Yeah.
Obviously
we've got a catalogue of stuff ready to go. Honestly,
like me and Jack have got stuff that maybe we can go. Well, let's recycle this and use it. So we've got plenty of stuff in the pipeline, I'd say, but it's just how quickly we can get it out in it, I suppose.
Well, the thing is, it's about having it. I guess there's time where you're like, right, cool, this is our gigging time. And then I reckon you've got, I don't know how it necessarily works, but I imagine at the moment it's very busy. There seems to be so many events going on that obviously, like you said earlier, you're just trying to get the experience from wherever you can. But there'll probably be a lull at some point where you guys can then settle down and go, right, this is going to be our writing period.
Yeah, and obviously, like, album is on the cards as well as, I don't know, are we EP or album? We don't know. We're literally back and forth of what we want to do, but we've got the content. We just need to get it out there. So,
what's been the recording process so far then? How have you guys done that? Have you been going to studios to do that?
All ourselves, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we rehearse in a studio called Mushroom.
Right, okay.
Which is in sort of Rayleigh area.
Oh,
and was he? Oh no, because he went there for that bit. So James Clark pretty much recorded all of that for us.
Oh wow!
And then we did the drums in Maple, which is in Southend.
Maple Studios do all the gigs for Chinnery's, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Or most of them, anyway.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much a DIY
Purely independent.
Yeah, purely independent, yeah. So we've saved ourselves a buckload of money
as
well. So.
Oh, mate, I think the thing is, like, even me doing this, like, it all adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and it's like, if you're with the show or with the podcast, or if you're in a band or whatever, obviously having 5 of you in the band probably, you know, is a little bit more affordable.
Exactly,
it doesn't help.
But when it comes down to it, everything costs. If that's you know, websites or even that even that link tree is like 4 or 5 quid a month. It's like it's just like only though. All right, it's only 4 or 5 quid a month, but everything adds up, doesn't it? All the way through.
Yeah. I think I'm happier doing it this way because like when people listen to it and think like who did your production on that? And it's just like, well, we did.
So it's a lot of strings to your bow, isn't it? Like you guys are obviously performing live. You're writing your own music. You're doing your own production. You're doing all of your own socials and all that sort of stuff. So it becomes. I discussed it when we were on with Ocean Floors. It becomes like your own business as well as a band.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've even got to a point now. So like with Instagram, I'll draft stuff weeks ahead. Yeah. So then it's all ready to go. Got hashtags copied and pasted, you know what I mean? So it's just little things like that.
It's all like behind the scenes, all boring stuff, all that, isn't it? When you have to do all that, but it's
all
so
emails
necessary.
Back and forth like that for gigs and things. So.
How do you find that element of it? Because when I've tried, I mean, the whole you guys have, I mean, the first track, well, you guys have uploaded Off and On, Rewind, Blood Paper.
So far,
to us, yeah. So those 3 tracks, I mean, I can't remember when the first one was now. It seems like I've known you guys for such a long time.
Yeah, so I think you heard Off and On first, which was our second single.
Right, okay. Oh, and then you sent us...
Yeah, because we were a bit iffy about Rewind because it was a longer song.
Oh, okay.
But I think you messaged back saying, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no.
Like a 4-minute track or something like that, or as close to 4 minutes. So.
Oh, mate, seriously, I've played tracks that are about 6 minutes long. The thing is for me, like, I want to play... What it started off as was a local radio show, which was Southend based, and then it moved into Chelmsford, and that's where it started. But when it started to become a bit more, not nationwide because that sounds more dramatic, but when it become more, do you know what I mean? I want it to be more inclusive, and when we rebranded to Unsigned rather than Saturday Sessions as it used to be, it gave me a bit more creative license to be like, look, I have any genre, like I have any length of track within reason, like, and also if I need to. The way in which I do my show, it's an hour long, and obviously I've got to get ads in, and I've got to do this, got to do that. So if there are certain songs that are a little bit longer, sometimes I do have to sort of cut them down a little bit here and there. But if someone wants to send me a 5-minute track, send me a 5-minute track. I'll judge what I need to do with it. So you can't. I don't think you should. Hold back just because you think something might be longer. It might not suit everyone, but it's got plays and good reviews, isn't it?
Yeah, like again, it's like first song that started it all. So I think for us, it's one of the favourites, you know.
They've all, I mean, they've all done really well, which is like great, you know,
without having to put too much PR into it, you know.
So. Yeah, I mean, like, again, this is gonna sound bad probably, but we've not actually done much pushing really. I mean, obviously we have, but not like extreme levels, and they've just sort of got out there by themselves. So it's quite nice that hopefully they're good enough to.
I mean, it's funny. That. So like. Blood Paper's got nearly as much as Rewind and Off and On. So that's just how much that song's taken off to people, you know. So.
Are you judging that for this is like, you know, statistics, but where'd you get that information? Oh, from Spotify.
From Spotify, yeah. So we're not on like Apple Music and Amazon, so we can't really see how well we're doing there. But yeah, we pretty much stick to that as a go-to.
Yeah. I think that's everything I look at, really, not putting audio listeners away in any way, but I look at YouTube for this a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I look at that and go like, right, cool. I know what certain episodes are, you know.
It can maybe up a bit more, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I was saying to Manish earlier, like, it's funny how it all sort of works. You can never judge how something's going to necessarily take off, and I'm judging that on the podcast or on the radio show. For you guys, obviously, you're putting your heart and soul into these tracks and hoping, right? So it's a bit of a hit and hope. So it must be lovely to get the response you're getting for Blood Paper.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And like I say, I'm on like Twitter as well, so I think that's a big help. Like the amount of people who are like, I'll submit a track, and just sort of endless spam, and I think a lot of people just like retweet, and it all adds up, you know. Yeah, it does help. So getting our name out there slowly.
You're doing well, guys. I think considering it hasn't really been that long. I mean, everyone had a bit of a kick in with COVID and everything else, and the break that some people had taken their own breaks and enforced breaks that happened. But you're certainly making the most of the live scene. And
I think it was more eager to sort of get back into it, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I think probably for me as well, because it's my first thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm very much like,
Ego.
We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, I know that feeling, mate. I think the thing is, you get the bug for it as well, don't you? If that's this, or if that's you, or it's the band or whatever, you are eager to get on with it, and you want. But the thing is, you want to have people around you that are also excited about it.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't got that, it's a fucking drag. So you need people all to be on the same page. Especially, 5 of you in the band. There's
a lot of experience in that band, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like Matt and Jack have been in touring bands, and so they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Talking of events, you guys have got one coming up. So this episode on Patreon will go out on Friday, and then it'll be public on Saturday. So it might be too late for the public viewers unless you're watching it in the morning.
Oh, okay.
But where do you want to talk about your event that's coming up on Saturday? The 18th of June.
That's it. So this Saturday we're playing Island Fest, Adventure Island.
In Southend.
In Southend, yeah.
That's mad, isn't
Iconic,
it? Where? Yeah, it used to be
Peter Pan's.
Peter Pan's when I was a kid. Yeah, with the Barracuda. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to fall out of that bloody thing. So where's the stage? And have they told you much about it? Like, I can't picture where they're going to put.
It's in the middle somewhere. I think
so. Yeah.
I don't really know.
On Rage.
Yeah, but. Yeah, it's going to be strange, I think. It's going to be good, but it's because obviously you've got everything going on, and then you're just going to be in the middle, but hopefully there'll be enough. Oh, well, if it's sunny, innit, the people are going to be there.
So mate, seriously, it's going to be like 31 degrees on Friday, so it'll be I think Saturday you'll be
good,
all right.
Yeah, with that, the guy organising it just dropped us a message.
Yeah.
Was like, do you want to do it? And we were like, yeah, definitely.
Because there's you guys doing it, Admissions are doing it. Who else is on the lineup?
The Blams, they're doing it. A band called the Q Days,
right?
And then
everyone in South.
A few others.
Everyone in South.
It's like an all-day thing, isn't it? I think. So
yeah, I think it starts from about 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and we're on at like
6:30.
Yeah, so we've got pretty decent.
That's a really good start. Yeah. That's quality. Yeah. No, I wish I could come down, but I'm away, which Lizzie threw me under the bus for a couple of weeks ago. Because we've got a few. I know quite a few bands have all got gigs going on this weekend. So it would have been lovely to get to everything, but. I'll be at Centre Parks. Centre Parks is cool, but I would quite like to go to the gigs I've been invited to as well.
Get like a live stream up or something like
that.
Do it Instagram live.
From the rides or something like that.
That'd be quality. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to have a little break, and then we will come back and we will talk about your dream gig. All right?
That's great.
So join us in section 3.
Unsigned with Matt Wherry. Unsigned with Matt Wherry.
Hi guys, welcome to the podcast. If you're an unsigned band or artist and you would like to get your music on the radio, go to our website, unsignedmusic.uk. There's a little icon on there saying submit your music. Go on there, submit your music, and you could be on one of our partner channels, as you can see here. You could be on there as early as next Sunday. So go and do that and we will listen to your music and hopefully you'll be on the radio.
Unsigned with Matt Wherry. Unsigned with Matt Wherry.
Hi everyone, welcome back to section 3. We're with Under One's Son, Charlie and Sam. Right, we are going to talk about your dream gig. There's probably a better name for this section, to be quite honest. Like, if you think of one, tell me. But basically, what we're going to do, right, you're going to give me answers to these questions. So, have you seen the section before? Have you seen...
Yes.
Put you on the spot. Well done. Yes. Good answer, Charlie. So, what we're going to do, right? And I think I was confusing the situation beforehand. But what I need from you guys, you're going to have 3 artists, including you, right? Mm-hmm. 3 artists at an event. You can choose if you're going to be the headliner, the main support, or the opener. But who are your 2 other artists going to be, and where are they going to fit in the lineup?
Living artists, or can it be anyone?
We can go dead.
We can go dead.
Oh,
I don't know. I think
how dead?
Oh, I don't know. I was just assessing the options.
Yeah, no, like your dream gig. Like obviously, whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you want.
I think ours will be different. So
you go first if you want.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously, we'd have to headline, I suppose. That would be that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
In terms of support, I don't know. It'd have to be like Nirvana would be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
That would be amazing. And then it'd have to be the Beatles, I suppose, as well. That would be quite a...
Yeah.
I know it's a bit
that'd be a very
mishmash, but that'd probably be...
That'd be yours.
The dream, yeah.
So who's opening? The Beatles. The Beatles are opening for Nirvana.
maybe we should be opening, and then it leads up to the Beatles. But maybe just everyone on at the same time. There's no opener. We're all just one.
That is not the question, Charlie.
It's too hard.
So who would yours be then? Would yours be different?
Yeah, so collectively as a band, we've all gotten into a band recently called Turnstile.
Oh, okay.
A band from America. I think, that'd be a dream support for us.
How well established are they then? Are they like an unsigned bino?
No,
they're just flying. When we first... Well, I think James found
album
them first.
Glow, wasn't it? They released
Glow
2021 album, and
that's just thrown him into.
He's gone bloody crazy with it now. Wants us to take that sound and little snippets.
Be under one sun.
So I'd love to support those guys. What venue though?
Hang on, I didn't ask you venue yet.
Oh, okay.
Who's opening? So you got headliner, main support, and opening. So are you headlining or are they?
I would have. Well, I'll change my answer then. I'm a big fan of Incubus as well.
Yeah.
A big band of them. So I'd have Incubus as the main act.
Yep.
Turnstile, and then us.
Right. Okay.
Because just to be in that era of those artists would be mental. So
that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Right, now you can talk about venue. So you can talk about venue, festival, wherever. So some of the answers we've had so far are Glastonbury, we've had Download, we've had where is it? Good Health, Good Wealth said, I think it's the Forum in Kentish Town, or the Kentish Town Forum, I think it was called.
Shout,
So lots of different answers. So where would be your and again, you can have one each if you want, but where would be your ideal venue? And
Can I give venue and festival?
You're getting greedy.
If it was more realistic, I'd be well happy with like Brixton Academy.
Yeah.
Something like that. A bit more of an intimate gig.
Yeah.
Because like O2, Wembley Arena would be good, but like it's just the scale. And I think like with what we're doing now, like I like an up and personal gig, So something like Kentish Forum or Brixton Academy. Yeah. And if it was festival, it'd have to be Reading.
Right.
Yeah, Reading Festival.
Reading Festival's dirty, isn't it? I went
Reading
there.
and Leeds. Yeah.
I went there like 13 years ago, and it was like, it's just of all the festivals I've been to, that was.
Reach it. On my keys, all my chains from the festivals.
Oh really?
Yeah. So a little 2013, I think 2012, 2016, 19,
13 at Reading.
Was it 20? That was 2012. That one. I don't know what year.
Oh, it would have been fun. Like, I was just thinking in my head 13 years ago, when was that? 2009. I reckon I was probably there 2008, 2009. I can't remember which. But it was, I can't even tell you it was headlining now. But of all the festivals I've been to, that felt like a proper grotty one.
Yeah.
It was a real festival.
Yeah.
Where would yours be then?
So I suppose if we're talking intimate gigs, one of the best ones I've seen was at Coco.
Yeah.
I love it there. Everything from like the look of it to or Roundhouse maybe, but I'd say
where is Coco?
It's in Camden.
Oh, okay.
It's just reopened as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just like a little kind of theatre-y kind of thing, I suppose it was.
I've seen it advertised. I'm sure I've heard people playing there, but for some reason I thought it was in South London for some reason.
Yeah, but the band I've seen there, I'm actually seeing tomorrow. So it'd be interesting to see how they are.
Are we shouting them out?
We can do. They're successful and anything, but they're called Blues Pills.
Right.
They're a Swedish band. So they're quite big over there and in sort of Scandinavia and all that. But over here, they just do. I think that's like they do Download, but like the small tent and then little venues sort of dotted around the place. So that would be cool. In terms of festival, I think probably, and like you're saying, it's a grotty one, but Nebworth.
That looked incredible, by the way.
I was there.
Were you?
Yeah, for Liam Gallagher and Kasabian.
Oh wow!
Mate, it's 85,000 people. It was insane.
A few more than Rayleigh.
See the grass being sold.
yeah, on eBay, wasn't it? Yeah.
Did you hear about it?
What?
You tell the story if you want.
So there's this geezer who's there, and he's kind of gone a bit viral, and he as a joke, like picked a few bits of grass and put it up for a $5 on eBay, and it got like 12k or something. Like, it's just
Jesus,
ridiculous.
Like the Wembley turf when they knocked it down.
Yeah, honestly.
Bloody hell.
But that was one of the most mental things I think I've ever been to. Like just the scale of it, I've never experience anything like that is insane. Yeah,
there are loads of people there. But I mean, I saw I've seen Oasis play, and that was a Wembley Arena. But that would have been, fuck me, that would have probably been about 14 years ago, I suppose, 14, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
because obviously they broke up and they've
2009, wasn't it? I think. Yeah.
That was ages ago. But yeah, no, I haven't never been. Where is Nebworth, by the way?
It's near Stevenage. Like that's the next kind of place along.
Right.
But it's like Nebworth House, and then it's like the grounds is where the venue is. But it's just on a slope, so you just turn around and all you can see is people.
Oh wow,
it's crazy. And me and my buddy were quite near the front as well, so getting out of there took like an hour and a half. Yeah, but it was worth it.
That's cool. Yeah. I like those answers. How would you travel? So you've given your individual answers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Just choose. Can you choose one collectively? Where would you? What are you saying? Choose one venue.
I mean, I quite like the Brixton Academy idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good one.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how are you travelling to that gig? Bearing in mind, you've got 5 different locations where you all live. How are you getting to the gig?
Oh, it'd have to be a hired van, I think, or something like that. We have this discussion quite a bit. So because we're driving and bringing our own gear, we can never really drink.
Right.
So yeah, it's always like the one, and then that's it. And
Yeah, just hire a bloke
just hire a guy
man in a van.
Yeah, van.
A removal van.
Yeah, cash in hand. And
Fair enough. Not the most glamorous answer in the world, but we'll take it.
Realistic, isn't it?
We could. The way you guys are going, you'd be doing it pretty sharpish, I think. Brixton Academy in a van. Fair enough. Right. So, what would be your cover track if you were to do a cover track at your dream gig or on any gig necessarily? But what would be your cover track as a band?
I don't know, because our tastes are all over the place. We have done a live cover before, and that was Sam Fender.
Yeah,
we did his song Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I don't know why did we do that.
I don't know. It's just
where was that then? Was that
that was at?
Don't say Southend.
No, close enough. Brentwood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and we did it in what's that place called? I can't remember.
Did we do it twice?
Yeah, we done it in that little bar thing in London.
Lunar Lounge.
Yeah, there as well.
Oh, we did. Yeah, at Leytonstone. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what song would you.
If you were going to do one now, was that if you guys have obviously been together a while, you've been developing your sound and all that. What would be if you were to do one now? Would it change? Would it still be Sam?
Probably would change it, I think, because it's quite a slow song, isn't it? So you'd probably want something a little bit more energetic. But we've never really discussed or done covers, have we?
No,
really,
like we're for us when you come to our set, we want you to hear our stuff, you know. So because the time's limited as it is, you know. So to just walk away with our stuff.
Yeah.
But if we had to, probably be the band I mentioned earlier, Turnstile.
Right.
I think we could easily.
I think I need to do my research here because I've not heard their work.
They're good.
Yeah, I think James would be happy when he.
Shout out, James.
But they're a similar sort of setup, aren't they? Ish. I mean, I'm not saying we sound like them because I don't think we do, but they've got the same kind of vibe, and they have like the synthy tracks and stuff. So they kind of.
And I think, sort of going off topic as well, it's quite hard to pinpoint our genre because we're all over the place.
I actually got rid of that on my jot form. You know the jot form that you fill out when you upload a track to us?
Oh, yeah.
I did have genre on there.
Yeah.
I don't really know why, but I just thought that, you put that on there.
Yeah, all the above.
But no one ever fills it in.
Yeah.
Because I think that there is such a variety these days of what people... I don't think there are some bands who are going to be, we're an indie band and that's it.
Yeah.
But... when I've spoken to bands on here, it's like, well, what sort of genre would you put yourself in? Don't really know. We're just us. And it's like, well, I'm getting rid of that then because I don't want to pigeonhole anyone in a certain bit.
I mean, even in our set, like, again, with the tracks that we use, one of them's got like a whole string section that our friend Elliot did for us. But then another song's got like this sub-bass thing, and it's just... like if you put those two songs together, you'd be like, they don't sound like the same band, but it just kind of it goes through the set nicely. But there's loads of different influences.
I think like for myself, like when I see a band, it's been countless times where it just sounds like half an hour of the same song.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I think with that, we've sort of hit the nail on the head to be like each song is different, you know, like nothing sounds the same. And yeah. And I think as we're growing a bit more, we're getting heavier.
Yeah.
So we do like a sort of heavy side, you know, so trying to get my voice to fit in that genre is going to be a challenge, but no, it's good.
I think that's the nice thing though, because personally I like heavy music, but I don't like over the top screaming and all that sort of stuff. So I quite like bands sort of like us that are doing, like, again, Turnstile, but they're heavy, but they've got clean vocals. I think that's kind of
you probably then sort of appeal to a wider audience as well. Not necessarily that it's necessarily all about that, but at the same time, didn't Stereophonics start out as like a proper grungy, shouty band, and then they reined it in, and they obviously went massive. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like when I was growing up, like I mentioned this on the podcast the other week. Like I loved new metal. I love like everything like that. I like all that. But now when I'm receiving tracks, I won't go through bands and stuff, but there are some where I'm like, it is quite heavy, but then there isn't like screaming or anything. And the thing is, like I've already said on here, like any genre I'll listen to, and if I can get it on the show or whatever, I will. But you know, if there are going to be some things where people hear and go, that's really not my cup of tea, I'm not listening to that.
Yeah.
So I think if you aren't doing that element of it, not telling you how to do your jobs now.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, it probably does appeal to a wider.
I think with us as well, we like a riff, and then that's like the heavy bit, and then quite a lot of our verses are quite sort of stripped back and like really clean, and then the riff comes in again. That's kind of the heavy element, and we down tune quite a lot. I think that's where that kind of
change
sound comes from. But
that happens on Rewind, doesn't it? Like it starts off quite heavy and then goes into a really sort of almost melodic bit. Yeah, but it does start off like
that's it. Yeah, the big intro. Yeah, get everyone like appealed straight away. You know, so yeah,
good. It's good to have variety. So who would be your special guest? So we've talked about it on the pod, and like you can bring someone out to do a song with you. Who would be your special guest? Not Good Health, Good Wealth.
Are we talking local people or anyone?
Anyone. They chose Kanye.
Okay, all right.
I think. And then Heidi chose Eminem, and someone, I can't remember who it was now, chose Lady Gaga.
Nice.
So no, anyone, you can choose it, whoever, but you know.
Okay, I would probably pick the singer from the band I'm seeing tomorrow. Ellen Larson is her name. She's a great vocalist, so I think a nice female vocal on a track or something would be cool. And she's a rock singer, so she's got
cool.
You know, it's not soft, it's like powerful, so I think she'd be great, to be honest.
Great answer.
Ooh, who would I pick?
Sorry, Sam, we're all wait.
Is it Brandon Urie, Panic at the Disco?
Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
Have you noticed whenever he's on anything, he's always referred to Brandon from Panic at the Disco? I never knew what his surname was.
Is it Urie, I think? Yeah,
Urie. He's fantastic. What happened to them?
It's still going. They're doing...
I thought they just stopped. I thought they'd done like a couple of albums. And
just him left, I think.
Oh, right.
I think all of them...
He is Panic at the Disco.
He's Panic at the Disco.
I love that album. That album, I can't remember the name of it now, but...
First two albums were like solid, and then... Yeah, slowly but surely they all plucked away. So
happens.
We're not following those footsteps.
But the thing is, it probably does happen, doesn't it? I mean, it does. If you guys have been together quite a while, I mean, it was Catfish and the Bottlemen have just broken up, haven't they?
Yeah. I've heard rumours. Is it actually?
Well, I think their guitarist decided to leave. Yeah, and they're going to try and redo it. But he said they're like dysfunctional and he don't want to be a part of it anymore.
Because did they pull out of the Stereophonics support?
I'm not 100% sure.
Has that happened yet? I don't know.
Not 100% sure. But I think it must be, what my point is, it must be difficult, especially when you've got, well, like with you guys, there's five of you in there, obviously very fortunate to be friends and brothers in some cases, which probably can be quite hard. I've worked with family before and it's fucking hard work. So I can imagine it has its downfalls. But when you've got 5 personalities all coming into the same place, it must be difficult to make that last forever. I mean, there's so many bands who have, not made it or whatever, or have gone their separate ways in that. So it must be difficult to keep that tight knit.
Yeah, it is, but we're all quite chilled, I think. Yeah. So, and where there's like a odd number of us. If there's like a vote, one side always kind of wins. So it's not. It's very kind of, if there's a decision that needs to be made, it's kind of right. What does everyone think?
Yeah, that's good.
Go with it, and then if you're on the losing side, it's the majority, which is quite nice. And I forget you and James are brothers because there's no sort of real, like brotherly kind of arguments or anything like that. It's all pretty chill, really.
Yeah, and I think we're sort of lucky as well because a lot of the songs were written by like me and my brother to begin with. So we sort of brought them in to the room and like, this is how it goes, and then add your input onto it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So because
is that still the writing process then?
Pretty much. Like James records it all himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does like demos or whatever.
Like garage band demos, and then we'll hear it, and then we'll take on our sort of what we hear,
Yeah.
And then Matt will make something crazy. You'll pick up and do something.
Matt's quite good at sort of arranging as well.
Yeah,
because he's a teacher. So kind of
drum teacher.
Yeah, so if it will go like, that section's too long or whatever, and he's kind of like, we've got the ideas, and he's the captain of the idea almost, and he says like, this bit needs to be shorter. Or
his
whatever.
Music theory's mad, honestly. Like the way he was talking, and we're just like, what?
Yeah.
like this is 2 bars. That's we were like,
just want to sing.
Yeah, exactly. I got the easiest job.
I wouldn't say that, mate. I wouldn't say that at all. Just me getting up there and just introducing you. Like, sometimes it's a bit nervy, let alone singing like you guys do. Blimey. Right. So who did you choose? Who did you choose? Oh, Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Panic at the Disco.
Panic at the Disco. Yeah. All right, cool. Right. So when you guys do a gig, not that you got this at my gig, I do apologise, but you can get your rider, don't you? And you can get a special request, so you can have one each or whatever. But what would be your request? Bearing in mind you're going in with a man in a van, but what would be your special request when you get to that gig? Someone mentioned puppies the other day. I can't remember who that was.
Oh, that's
50 puppies. I think it might have been Abby. I can't remember.
I'm going to double up, I think, on the puppies.
Dogs, right?
Yeah. Right. Yes. Or it's beer, isn't it? I think that's the only answer.
Yeah.
Like, we're not fussy. We just
like beer.
Just like beer, and we like playing. I think that's,
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else really.
Free drinks, free tab on the bar, probably. Or something.
Fair enough.
That's it, yeah.
Have you yet had like a moment where you guys have looked at each other at a gig and gone, fucking hell, we're doing something well here? Or is there, what has been like
few
that
times,
moment?
Chinnery's was one. That was the first one, I'd say, where I was just like, this is bigger than anything I've ever done before.
I think because we got a couple t-shirts made as well, so like our own merch, and just seeing people coming to gigs wearing those, and like just singing the words back at you.
Yeah.
So I think, was it the Fiddler's Elbow one? There was a point, because Rewind's always the last song, where I like sort of turned the mic and I was like, all right, sing it. And everyone's singing back to it. And it's just like, I wrote this in my room, and you're like, it's mental,
Stackfest was pretty good as well. That was...
I was going to ask you guys about that.
Yeah. It's not the biggest gig we've done, but I'd say the amount of people in that room was probably the most kind of condensed that we've done, I would say. But
that James's gig?
Yeah, Clarkey does it every year.
Stackfest, yeah.
But that was pretty good.
Yeah, I was full frontman for that one.
Yeah.
Little speaker in front, and I was
really?
If an hour, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to climb it.
That's a cool media moment though, to have people sing your lyrics back to you.
Yeah, and I think to top that as well, a lot of people keep grabbing our set lists and asking for signatures.
Oh really?
So that's happened.
Nice. Yeah.
It literally was the Haystack we were just finished, and some guy was like, Sharpie, here you go.
Wow, that's cool.
So yeah, and another one as well, a lady I work with who's sort of come to all our gigs, got press shots made of us.
Oh, nice.
So again, Sarah.
Yeah. Shout out Sarah.
Yeah.
Beyond the Rainbow Lens.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been a big help for us, literally.
Yeah. Her photos at the gig at Southend were brilliant.
Yeah.
Especially the one she had of Simon, when he's got his sunglasses on and he's playing guitar. He's just amazing.
I'll tell you what, actually, that saying this more the answer to your question. Everyone who's been involved has been really nice and helpful.
Yeah.
I've never, I've been stuff before, and it's like your mates will come to the gig and that'd be it. But Sarah, bless, has been to every gig pretty much, and all my mates are coming to all of them, and same with your mates and that, and it's just everyone who's there is helping as well. It's not like they're just watching, like they've all got involved. Even if it's just carrying our gear to the car or something, it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, I even said to Sarah a couple of times, like, oh, like, you've done loads, you don't have to, like, she's like, no, I want to, and all this and that, and yeah, it's great.
I think that's what I've learned most about doing the events is meeting you guys, but meeting the people behind it as well. So obviously with Sarah, like she messaged me on Instagram when I said I was looking for photographers and stuff. And I already knew, I think I've seen some of the stuff from the Chinnery's gig that she'd done. Yeah. So I said to her, crack on, like come along and take photos for us on that night. Yeah. And it was...
Actually, tooting you as well, I sent her the post for that.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
Because her portfolio is boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was her like beginning like career really for photography, and dove into gigs, and now what you're doing is
well, that's the thing, it's
all networking, isn't it? So,
it's all networking. It's all networking. It's all helping each other out, and it's like I said to you earlier about I've only just put 2 and 2 together. So Clarkey, James Clark, sound engineer from 21, was in the band.
Yes.
Fucking hell, that took me. That took me like an hour to click.
Yeah.
Jesus, I know I didn't.
Yeah, we only so all the singles you hear now is James Clark playing.
Right.
On bass
okay.
And vocal as well.
Right. So was he? Why weren't he mic'd up then singing?
I know, yeah. But he only did the one show of us at Chinnery's.
Right. Okay.
And then world ended for 2 years after that.
World ended.
Yeah.
On hold.
But it's nice as well because Clarkie's still really involved.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say over half the events we've done, he's done the sound for it or
I think
whatever. And he just
knows.
That's
the question. If we could pick a sound man, that's
mate, except for Manish, I would choose Clarkie as well. Yeah. I tell you what, right? Learning, talking about networking and finding the right people and stuff. I certainly feel like I got the right blend at the gig that we did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the venue were great. Jake Percy Productions, brilliant. Yeah. Sarah, great. And it's just like night, and obviously James as well. So it's like nice finding the right people around that. And like I said, everyone on the night was really helpful. Everyone was really friendly. It was nice having the photo at the end of the night and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it was a really good vibe and a really good night. Where would be your? So basically, you're going to Brixton. You're doing your gig there. You're going with a man in a van, and you have nothing on your rider except for free beer, so that's fine. Where's your after party?
Brixton. Just any sort of club or pub or something. Yeah, Coco. Yeah, go
get Coco off the list.
Yeah. But just anywhere where there's people. Like I said, where we've got people helping us out, just come along and we'll go somewhere and just that's it. It's
about the people rather than the location.
Yeah, for sure. It's
a nice answer.
Yeah.
It's a very nice answer. Right, so we've talked about, obviously, your dream gig. We've gone in the section 2, we talked about your Island Fest that's coming up. Yep. What other events and other things to plug have you guys got that the listeners and the watchers of the podcast would like to be involved with?
I will share now. Right, so Island Fest, as we said, on the 18th of June. On the 6th of July, we're playing the Hoxton Underbelly.
Okay.
Which is a new one to us. But
yeah, again, cool. Just approached by one of the promoters from the venue.
Yeah.
And London's a weird one, so it's always like weekday gigs.
Yeah.
So, but we're like, why not?
Yeah, that's cool.
Again, I think there's at least 5 or 6 people playing there. So
nice.
Again, just see it as a network event, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're pretty high on the bill.
So how long was your set on that one then?
45.
Oh right, so it's a long night then.
Pretty much, yeah. But I think again, it's just for us, it's just ticking off.
Yeah.
Like venues and we've done it, you know. And
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, again, so that'd be a fun one.
Yeah, so that's the 6th. On the 9th, we're playing on Canvey Island, the Monaco.
Right.
So apparently it's like a new thing they've started up. It's like an outdoor little, not festival, but they've got like a little space, so we're doing that.
Cool.
26th of July, we're playing the Finsbury, which again...
Another London
show, another London one.
And then quite a lot of London gigs coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, that like for future now, we want to just operate within London and sort of Southend where we can.
Yeah.
So just we can afford to be a bit picky now because we've done quite a bit
already.
You know?
So. Yeah.
And then the last one, as you said earlier, was the Alex Aldea again, and that's on the 8th of October.
Wow, so a lot coming up then.
Yeah,
probably a few more before.
I don't doubt. I don't doubt it. Hardest working band going from an event perspective. But you've also got potentially an album/EP, but you haven't decided yet. Would you think that decision may be made before the end of this year?
Yeah, well, I think the goal is to get
got to be out
soon.
before the end of the year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So probably October, November time.
Yeah.
I think it's just to get sort of the songs that we're doing now done. And
yeah.
We can obviously still play them, but like move on to some new stuff and see where it goes. But
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So just so people can find you on Instagram, it's Under One Sun Music.
That's correct.
I did that without looking, although I have got it written down. So thanks very much for coming in. Really appreciate it. Obviously, any new tracks you get, you send them to us. We'll get them on. And really appreciate you coming onto the podcast and also doing our Southend gig because,
thank you.
Really appreciate you guys being involved. Thank you.
Great night.
It was all right, wasn't it? I think it was all right.
It
was a good night. Yeah, we had a good time. Right, so things that I was going to plug quickly is our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Unsigned Music UK. Go and find us on Instagram as well. Everything's pretty much Unsigned Music UK. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will really help us out. And also, as you probably know, my shows always go out on a Sunday on Islington Radio, Radio Extra, Radio Chelmsford, and a few other ones coming soon as well. But as I say, thank you very much, Charlie, Sam, Under One Sun. Thank you for coming in, and we will see you all next time.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
See you.
Cheers.